Hello, my name is Kathy Romaine. I'm a realtor with Elite Realty in Paducah, Kentucky, and I'm going to be going over selling your home. And this applies to people outside of Western Kentucky as well. So diving right into it, here's our agenda. And first off, finding a realtor who fits your needs. And while you may not want to work with a realtor initially, when you see the statistics, you actually will be able to earn more money through using a realtor. That will likely change your mind. On average, homes that are for sale by owner sell for 18% less. And when you're paying a commission of only 6% to work with a realtor, it works out in your favor. So when you're looking for a realtor, make sure you're looking for someone who meets the style of communication that you want to communicate in, as well as someone who has diligence and follow through. And these are things that you can interview realtors with, or if it's someone you can know, even if they're your friend, is this going to be a good fit for you in this business transaction? And then something I'm going to hit on a lot more later is marketing. Make sure this realtor is going to properly market your home. Preparing your property. So you have the option for pre-inspection up front. In Western Kentucky, that's going to cost about $400 to $600, the same it would for a buyer. But this, if you have some concerns about your property, this will allow you to know what an inspector is going to find and for you to do some repairs ahead of time. And then moving on from that is if you have small repairs to do, they're going to be cost effective, like taking care of small things like a leaky faucet or small items that are affordable for your budget. Highly recommend you do those ahead of time, as well as making sure your home is cleaned and decluttered, especially if you're still going to be living there while selling it. And if you have the budget to work on that curb appeal, lighting, paint. And what I mean by this is curb appeal, putting in flowers if it's springtime, something to make the outside of your house stand out more, to look more beautiful. And then also lighting can be very important. When I show homes, a lot of times buyers are um, unhappy with the lighting in a home. And some of that can be as simple as putting in brighter lights or replacing light bulbs if they've become dim or have gone out. And those are very, very affordable updates that you can make. As well as if you do have some paint colors that are not neutral, I highly recommend that you consider painting them if they're things that would be off-putting to others, such as a bright green or dark reds. Things like that can be off-putting. And while a buyer should be able to look past that, a lot of them do not, and they're turned off to your home. And pricing your home right. This is very important, and you'll be working with your realtor on this, but the pricing really sets your momentum. And so you want to price it right up front. Some people will say, well, I'll start off high and then I'll just lower it later. But the issue is once your home is sat on the market for a longer period of time, 30, 60, 90 days, when buyers are coming to see your home, they're looking at it thinking, oh, I have more negotiating power here because this home wasn't just listed and they haven't gotten any offers. So they're going to offer lower on your home. So you want to hit that correct price up front and be willing to reduce it quickly if it's not that right price. And having it at the right price, it really encourages competition. So if you have the correct price and you're getting a lot of showings up front, you're going to get multiple offers and people are going to offer you at the price you set or above it even. And we already talked about the impact of the days on market and how you're going to get lower offers the longer it's on the market likely. And marketing your home, this is very important. And this is something your realtor will do for you, but you want to make sure that they're doing it properly. And that is that they're using professional photography. That is something that I have seen far too much, is that when I open up new properties on the MLS, that the photographs do not look professional at all. And we'll look into that more on the next slide. And you want to make sure marketing is more than just the MLS. Again, this should be the realtor doing it for you, but these are things up front you can discuss with your realtor. Are they going to be doing social media posts? Are they going to be doing open houses and doing those early while they still have the momentum? These are all things you want to make sure that they're going to be doing, and video walkthroughs of your home and posting those on social media. There's lots of ways to get more interest in your home. Professional photography. On the left is not what we want to see. We don't want to see clutter. We do not want to see dim, fuzzy photos. We want to see on the right this bright, airy, spacey setup with, just little added things like the salt and pepper shakers and the tea kettle, something that looks professional and clean. And while that may not be what your house looks like, for the sake of the photos, it is best if you can try and get to that point. to where it looks very professional. You're going to get a lot more interest in your home if that is what your photos look like versus the left. And that's the same thing for when people come in for showings, to have it clean and airy and bright. So, talking about open houses and showings. So, again, early open houses are very important to make sure you're getting that momentum up front. And this gives other individuals access to your home that may not come with a realtor, because no one can access your home except for an open house unless they're working with a realtor. So this allows other people to come to your home, and that will be marketed again appropriately by your realtor through not just the MLS, which then feeds into Zillow, but also through Facebook Marketplace, Nextdoor, social media marketing, including videos leading up to the open house. They can even walk your neighborhood to invite your neighbors and have them invite others. So there are a lot of ways to make sure you're getting more people to your house for an open house. And again, we want that clean and bright presentation. And one other thing to hit on is scent. Make sure you're not putting too strong of a scentsy or candle, because buyers will immediately believe there's something wrong with your home and that you're trying to cover a scent up. So you just want it to smell clean, not overpowering of a scent. And offers. So as we've already talked about, you want to make sure you're getting a lot of exposure, a lot of interest in your home, and then you're going to create that competition. And that competition is going to allow you to have options for which offer you're going to take, and you're actually going to get a better price. But also, when you're receiving those offers, make sure you're considering more than price. Perhaps someone offered you $5,000 less than someone else, but the buyer that offered $5,000 less is offering cash. If you need to move in a hurry and they're offering cash, that's a great offer, because now you know their loan isn't going to fall through. With a cash closing, you don't have to worry about an appraisal, so you're going to be able to close much faster. Other things to be considering, other than just quick closing, which some loans will close quicker than others, is also what other contingencies. If it's not just a loan, but theirs is also contingent on their house closing, well, where is their house in the process? Is it even on the market? If it's on the market, is it under contract? There's other contingencies, such as having a survey, again, appraisal contingency with a loan, an inspection contingency. Most people want an inspection, but you may have the chance that someone decides to purchase your home without an inspection. So those are all things to consider rather than just considering the price. So here's some estimated costs that you will have as the seller. Be prepared to pay both realtor commissions, both the listing agent and the buying agent. And the reason I say this is that the buyer going into a transaction is going to be expecting to pay a certain amount of money. And if they're going to have to pay an additional 3% to their agent, they're going to be less likely to offer that amount to you as well. It's really a zero-sum game when it comes to that. And it also just helps with negotiations, because most are going to ask the seller to pay commissions. And if you come back and refuse to do that, you may lose a contract over something minimal. You also are going to have closing costs. And again, this is based on Western Kentucky. So if you're not in Western Kentucky, this is going to vary what kind of closing cost you pay as a seller. You have possible preparation and repairs, and some of that could be things you chose to do beforehand, and some of that could be things that happened because of the inspection, because the buyer has the opportunity, if they do an inspection contingency, to come and ask you to make repairs, unless you're selling your house as is. And even if you're selling as is, they have the right to back out of the contract. So it really is best to not sell as is and to be prepared to do some minor repairs. You also have those other costs of optional staging, cleaning, and of course, if you still owe money on a mortgage, you have the mortgage to pay off, along with if there's any taxes that you have not paid for the year. And here's some final reminders. Make sure that those pictures are good. Those first impressions are really important for your home. So make sure that marketing online shows your home in a good light. And make sure you have that home priced correctly. And as we just said, in a good light, the lighting matters, your home being clean matters, making sure that it's professional looking photos so that you get that best foot forward for your house. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to help you more. And if you're in Western Kentucky, I'd love the opportunity to work with you. So have a great day. Bye.